Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the most mysterious creatures in all of folklore, a beast so deeply ingrained in our collective imagination that it has come to symbolize purity, grace, and untamed wildness. We're talking, of course, about the unicorn. For centuries, this magnificent creature, often depicted as a horse with a single, spiraling horn protruding from its forehead, has captivated hearts and minds, appearing in ancient texts, medieval tapestries, and modern fantasy. Its horn was believed to possess potent magical properties, capable of healing sickness, purifying water, and even detecting poison. To encounter one was considered a rare and sacred privilege, a moment when the veil between our world and a realm of enchantment thinned. But what if I told you that this creature, so seemingly fantastical and born purely from human dreams, might have a surprising connection to reality? What if the myth, far from being a mere figment of imagination, was actually inspired by creatures that truly roamed the earth, or beasts that swam in our oceans? We're going to embark on an investigative journey, sifting through the whispers of ancient history, the meticulous observations of early naturalists, and the startling discoveries of modern science to ask the ultimate question: could the unicorn, in some shape or form, actually have been real? Prepare to have your perceptions challenged as we explore the captivating boundary where myth blurs with astonishing truth. Our journey into the legend of the unicorn begins not in the enchanted forests of medieval Europe, but in the bustling courts of ancient Persia and India. One of the earliest and most influential Western accounts comes from the Greek physician Ctesias, around the 5th century BCE. While serving at the Persian court, Ctesias wrote Indica, a book describing the marvels of India. Among his many fantastical reports, he described a wild ass as large as a horse with a white body, a red head, and deep blue eyes. Its most striking feature: a horn about a cubit and a half long, roughly 18-27 inches, protruding from its forehead, distinctively colored white at the base, black in the middle, and red at the tip. He claimed this horn, when ground into powder and consumed, could protect against poisons and cure epilepsy. This wasn't the pure, gentle creature we envision today. Ctesias's unicorn was a swift, powerful, and ferocious beast, impossible to capture alive. Centuries later, Roman naturalists like Pliny the Elder, in his monumental Natural History, further cemented the image of the monstrous, literally one-horned, as a fierce, untamable animal found in India, possessing a single black horn on its forehead. Though his description varied slightly, the core element of a powerful, one-horned beast persisted. As these stories filtered into medieval Europe, the unicorn began to undergo a transformation. It became less of a wild ass and more of a horse-like creature, its ferocity tempered by an association with purity and innocence. Christian symbolism embraced the unicorn as a metaphor for Christ, its untamed nature tamed only by the purity of a virgin. This imagery reached its peak in the exquisite Hunt of the Unicorn tapestries, depicting the creature as noble, elegant, and elusive, its horn now universally spiraled and white. Even the Bible played a role in popularizing the unicorn in the West. In the King James translation, the Hebrew word ram, which likely referred to powerful, wild oxen like the aurochs, was translated as unicorn in several passages, further embedding the one-horned beast into the Western psyche. Across the globe, similar one-horned creatures surfaced in folklore. In China, the qilin, often described as having a single horn, was a benevolent, auspicious creature, appearing only during the reign of a wise ruler. Marco Polo, the famed Venetian explorer, also claimed to have seen unicorns during his travels in Sumatra, though his description of them having the hair of a buffalo and feet like an elephant's strongly suggests he was, in fact, describing rhinoceroses, a clear example of misidentification fueling the legend. From ancient India to medieval Europe and imperial China, the idea of a majestic, often powerful, one-horned animal was a pervasive, if varied, motif. The question then becomes, what inspired these persistent and widespread stories? For centuries, the unicorn remained firmly in the realm of myth, a symbol of magic and the impossible. But what if I told you that science has, in several fascinating ways, brought elements of the unicorn into the realm of the tangible? The greatest scientific discovery related to the unicorn myth likely comes from the frigid waters of the Arctic, the narwhal. For hundreds of years, long before scientists understood marine biology, Viking and Norse traders capitalized on the mystique surrounding unicorn horns. They sold the long, spiraling tusks of the narwhal, often called alicorns, to wealthy European courts, marketing them as genuine unicorn horns, imbued with all the magical properties ascribed to them in legend. Queen Elizabeth I herself reportedly paid £10,000 for a narwhal tusk, an astronomical sum at the time, equivalent to a modern-day palace. These horns were treasured as proof of the unicorn's existence, and their trade fueled the legend for generations. Scientists now know that the narwhal's horn is actually an elongated canine tooth, predominantly found in males, that can grow up to 10 feet long, spiraling counterclockwise. While the narwhal is clearly a whale, not a horse, its distinctive tusk perfectly matches the iconic spiraling horn of the European unicorn myth. This isn't a horse, but it undeniably provides a real-world biological basis for the most distinctive feature of the mythical creature. But the narwhal doesn't account for the land-dwelling, horse-like aspect of the unicorn. For that, we turn to a truly awe-inspiring creature from the past, Elasmotherium sybaricum, often dubbed the Siberian unicorn. This wasn't a horse, but a massive, shaggy rhinoceros species that roamed the grasslands of Eurasia up until about 36,000 years ago. Fossil evidence, particularly from Siberia and Kazakhstan, reveals a beast that stood over 6 feet tall at the shoulder, weighed up to 4 tons, and possessed a single, enormous horn estimated to be several feet long, situated prominently on its forehead. Crucially, Elasmotherium coexisted with early humans for tens of thousands of years. Scientists believe that stories of this magnificent, one-horned pachyderm could have been passed down through generations, slowly morphing and evolving through oral tradition, until the image of a powerful, one-horned land animal became deeply ingrained in human folklore. The descriptions of Ctesias and Pliny, depicting a fierce, one-horned beast of India, could very well be distorted memories or second-hand accounts of animals like the Elasmotherium, or perhaps other rhinoceros species. Even the simple observation of an oryx from the side can make its 2 horns appear as one, offering another possible, albeit less dramatic, origin for the one-horned concept. So, while no single animal is the unicorn, science reveals a compelling mosaic of real creatures whose unique features could have woven together to form the enduring myth. In an age dominated by smartphones and satellite imagery, the idea of a genuine, living unicorn in the classical sense, a white horse with a spiraling horn, might seem utterly preposterous. Yet the human fascination with this creature endures, and the occasional modern sighting, or more accurately, modern attempt at creating a unicorn, highlights our relentless desire for wonder. No one has reported seeing a truly mythical horse-like creature with a single horn trotting through a forest recently, but the persistent idea of the unicorn continues to inspire. We've seen instances throughout history, and even in modern times, where individuals have attempted to create unicorns. For example, in the 1930s, a veterinarian named W. Franklin Dove successfully surgically manipulated the horn buds of a day-old calf, causing them to fuse and grow into a single, central horn on its forehead. While this was done for scientific curiosity, it demonstrated that physically creating a single-horned bovine was indeed possible. More famously, in the 1980s, a man named Oberon Zellravenhart claimed to have real unicorns on his farm in California, which were, in fact, goats that had undergone a similar surgical procedure to grow a single horn. While these are clear manipulations and hoaxes, when presented as naturally occurring unicorns, they underscore the human drive to make the myth a reality, even if artificially. Furthermore, misinterpretations still occur. Imagine an explorer, lost in remote parts of Asia, encountering an unfamiliar rhino species, perhaps seeing only its profile, and recalling ancient tales of one-horned beasts. It's not a direct sighting of a unicorn, but a contemporary echo of how ancient legends could have been born from real, yet misunderstood, animals. The discovery of the narwhal, and its tusk being the legendary alicorn, didn't kill the myth of the unicorn. Rather, it shifted our understanding of its origins. The magical properties of the horn might have been debunked, but the allure of the creature itself persisted, evolving into a symbol of fantasy rather than a literal zoological quest. While modern science has unveiled the true nature of these unicorn horns and identified their most likely inspirations, the lingering emotional and symbolic power of the unicorn remains undiminished. So, after delving into ancient texts, historical accounts, and compelling scientific theories, what's our verdict on the unicorn? Was it real, an extinct marvel, or simply a beautiful figment of human imagination? From the skeptical perspective, the classical unicorn, the pure white horse with a spiraling horn, capable of being tamed only by a virgin, is indeed a purely mythical creature. It's a composite, born from a blend of misidentified animals, the embellishment of travelers' tales, and the potent symbolism humans attach to beauty and purity. There's no fossil record of a horse-like creature with a single horn, nor any credible modern biological evidence to support its literal existence. However, to dismiss the unicorn as entirely fictional would be to overlook a fascinating intersection of reality and imagination. Science has, in a profound way, proven the existence of the components that fueled the unicorn legend. The iconic spiraling horn, that was undeniably real, belonging to the majestic narwhal, an Arctic whale whose tusks were traded as priceless relics for centuries. A formidable, one-horned beast of ancient lore, the one that Ctesias and Pliny described. While not a horse, the formidable Elasmotherium sybaricum, the Siberian unicorn, a massive, one-horned rhino that coexisted with early humans, provides a powerful, tangible root for the concept of a single-horned land animal. Thus, the unicorn isn't real in the way a lion or an elephant is real, but it is far from being a baseless fantasy. It is a testament to how human observation, even when fragmented or misinterpreted, can spark an enduring myth. Unicorn is a beautiful mosaic, pieced together from the majestic narwhal's tusk, the formidable elasmotherium's prehistoric presence, and the timeless human desire for wonder, purity, and the untamed wild. So was the unicorn real? In its purest, most fantastical form, likely no. But was it entirely fictional? Absolutely not. It is a creature born from the real world, transformed by human storytelling, and made immortal by our collective imagination. It reminds us that sometimes the line between myth and reality is not a rigid barrier, but a shimmering, permeable veil. What do you think, myth or reality, or perhaps a beautiful blend of both? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, please. Subscribe my YouTube channel for more interesting videos.